Kyle, you want to start out? So you're going to kind of run this for us, right?
I'm going to run it, but I didn't know you wanted me to explain it.
You want me to explain it?
I'll explain it. So a mock draft is when we pretend a draft happens and we go through the results.
We're the GM.
So basically, the key to this one is we're going to make the picks as they're coming and who's available, and then we're going to kind of work our way through to their very next pick. So we kind of build our own picks based on who's available. So it's like, let's say we take an offensive lineman first. You don't want to take an offensive lineman that fell in the second round as well. It kind of just changes the landscape of our draft, and we're going to kind of talk about who came up with the best draft overall.
Can we go through what picks are available right now? We have first, second, third, fourth, fifth rounds, right? Nothing after that.
So the Lions only have 5 rounds. So that's what we're going to work on. There are two picks in the third round. And then, so that's kind of how it's going to go. And Kyle's got a mock draft that he's going to go off of and kind of tell us some players who's available. And then we can also kind of just talk about it. But if you want to hit that music there.
Prime time?
And
Pumped
I
about
should
this,
have talked to you about this before. I want you to read the first 6 picks.
Oh, yeah, I got
Then
you.
we'll do the Lions, and then we'll kind of jump to the next
Then
round. We don't have to read all of them. So.
Also, thank you for doing that so I don't have to.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I think you're better at it than me.
Well, yeah.
You just have to go in realizing Sam's going to yell at you a lot. You know what I mean? Like you know that.
I know that, yeah. Either way, you got natural talent that I wish I had.
Button pressing.
What do you say behind my back? That's what I want. They say is right in
It's much, much worse.
I don't think I should repeat it.
No, he knows.
All right, good stuff. All right.
Okay, so in the first pick is the Jaguars. Who do we think they're taking? Trevor Lawrence.
There you go. They should take Zach Wilson, but
that's who the Jets
that's the
have on this. I don't know whose mock draft this is.
Yeah, we'll get that at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They did take Zach Wilson. The 49ers take quarterback Mac Jones.
Nice. Mac Jones, number 3 overall.
So that's big.
Is this music too loud or what?
Bring it down just a teeny bit. I can't hear myself thinking then.
Yeah.
There we go.
Chaos in my head.
There we go. I did tell him to keep it up.
I know. You just got done saying, keep this stuff loud. Everybody likes it.
Pump it
I want
up.
loud from the iPad.
Well, I can't think, so thank you.
I don't talk like that.
You're right. It's
all right.
Hey, keep it loud. I'm glad you didn't hear that.
All right, sweet.
At number 4, the Falcons are taking tight end Kyle Pitts.
All right. That's big for the Lions, too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Then we got some wide receivers going here. The Bengals are going to take Jamar Chase. The Dolphins are then going to take Jalen Waddle.
Whoa, okay.
So and now do I say I don't say
don't
who?
tell
okay.
No. Yeah,
we're not even going to know who the Lions take here. But
it doesn't matter.
We don't need to talk about it because we're all making the picks. My pick's in.
Wait, no trading. We're picking at 7 here.
Penei Sewell fell, you run to the podium and you take him at 1. That's a no-brainer to me. I would be okay with trading down, but if he is there, you better get a freaking ton to trade down because you're giving up a future asset to the league right there. You take Penei Sewell.
Now they can still pick Penei Sewell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's who I'm taking.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, come on, man. I just pointed to you. All right, my pick is in. You know what? I actually agree with you. I'm going Penei Sewell.
You're changing your I'm convincing you, or some other people are in
Penei
film?
Sewell does not drop to 7 very often.
No, he doesn't.
That's the difference.
It's huge.
And I just think with the direction that Brad Holmes and this coaching staff have brought them to, and Campbell, they talked about, biting their kneecaps or whatever they take out their kneecaps, all the weird stuff.
Did say that,
beat other people up.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy that he wants. Okay, prove it.
Yep.
And how are you going to prove that? You go get an offensive line. You make that your staple. That's who you are as a team. You're tough. You protect the quarterback. You run the football. You're able to do all those things. Get the best one in the draft. Micah. It kills me to not take. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's tough to pass on some of the talent there.
I love
I
Smith.
feel like that's the way to go.
Smith, but I got to go with Penei Sewell.
Okay. Pick us in. Devontae Smith is available, right?
He is.
At this point, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm going with Devontae Smith.
It kills me not to take him.
Yep.
I'd love that too.
Where does DeMonte Smith go in this mock draft?
Number 12 to the Eagles.
Okay. So that could be a trade down.
That could be a trade
in this type of scenario. Obviously, nobody gets mock drafts, right? But It's fun talking about it.
It
so,
is.
so in this instance, Justin Fields is still on the board. We passed on him.
You did, yes.
We passed on Trey Lance.
Yes.
Yeah.
We passed on Micah Parsons.
Mhm.
Those are the obvious candidates, and then obviously we went with Penei Sewell over the second lineman, which I'm blanking on from Northwestern, but
Slater.
Slater, Rashawn Slater.
All right. Let's get into the second round.
Do you want to know who this guy took, or doesn't matter?
Nope, we're not getting into that. We're building our own based on his little information. So
Okay, so we are the 41st pick.
Maybe name a
second
couple
round.
beforehand so we kind of know our idea, and then name some guys that it could be.
So a few we have here: Elijah Moore, a wide receiver from Ole Miss; Terrence Marshall, wide receiver LSU; Ronnie Perkins, an edge from Oklahoma; Gregory Rousseau, edge from Miami.
Russo still on the board. Oh man,
Am I saying that? I'm saying that right?
Yeah,
aren't I?
yeah, you
did,
said that
did,
right.
Yeah.
Dylan Radnews, OT from North Dakota State; Rondell Moore from Purdue. Any names ringing a bell here? Any?
No, yeah, yeah.
Baron Browning, linebacker
Yeah.
from
That-
Ohio
okay.
State.
So that's
Javon Holland.
that's where my brain's going. Is if we take it. So I took Penei Sewell with my first pick. So I don't think you can go the first two rounds without addressing the linebacker position because of how important that is. I really like what I've seen from Browning. I think you take him. It's probably my pick's in. Baron Browning. He's a linebacker out of Ohio State. I love this guy. I feel like he's a fierce player that can really play in this league. Good size too, and good cover abilities. From what I've seen,
He's fast. He's big. He's a big play guy.
Yeah.
Gets a little over aggressive, which in college is to be expected.
Yeah, I really like that. And he's a starter on this team. I think pretty much right away. So that's where I'm gonna go.
Some of the names that are off the board at this point, we have Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback out of Florida State, I think, right? I don't know. He went in the first round. I'm high on him. Rashad Bateman's gone. Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, gone out of Florida. Travis Etienne.
Kadarius Toney was the interesting one. I think if he was still there in the second round, I might take wide receiver. But I also feel like you can get value in later.
And then Nick Bolton is linebacker out of Missouri. He's gone. He was the pick right before the Lions at this point. So, so I just wanted to throw some interesting little tidbits in there.
Yeah. So do you guys know who you're going with here?
I think I do. My pick is in. With the second round pick, the Detroit Lions select Terrence Marshall, wide receiver out of LSU.
Interesting. So even with both the Moores available, you said both the Moores are available, right?
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore
or
and what is it? Elijah Moore.
Elijah, yeah.
Interesting. What do you like about or not Elijah Moore? What's it?
Yeah, it's Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss.
Yeah. So you like this other guy better?
I think Terrence Marshall has more physical upside.
Okay.
And he's played the slot. He's played outside. He has way more versatility long term in this offense. I think Rondell Moore is very limited. He has a very specific role within an offense. I think long term we have no long term solutions with wide receivers at this point.
Yeah.
So I think Terrence Marshall gives you that well-rounded wide receiver that could shine in the NFL. I think his game translates.
Okay. Nice. Micah, who you got?
Pick is in. I'm going to go with Baron Browning as well.
Nice. I think that's a great choice, Micah.
I think
right.
so too.
Is
So
that
let's
just because it was your?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And I think it was a good one.
I think he just
All right. Let's jump down to the third round. Maybe throw some names at it.
very cunning. Very
Yeah.
cunning. 72nd.
77 or 72nd.
72nd in a. Thank you for that, Ryan.
Now he's on it.
Let's see. You have a lot on this one. Davion Nixon, defensive line from Iowa. Tylan Wallace, another wide receiver from Oklahoma State. Jalen Mayfield, OL from the
University of Michigan.
the yellow and blue team.
Frick, man.
He's
He's still there, round 3.
See, that's where I'm like, maybe I should have took someone else with 7.
guy with a cool name, Chaz Surratt.
Surratt.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
He's a good linebacker.
Chaz, gotta love Chaz.
Yeah.
Quincy Roche, edge from Miami. Kenneth Gainwell, a running back from Memphis. Kyle Trask, quarterback from Florida.
Interesting. All right. So basically what I was planning on here is if we didn't get Penei Sewell, a guy like Mayfield or even Little. Is it Gregory Little out of Stanford? If one of them were available, and we didn't already have Penei Sewell, they would be worth taking a chance on.
Gregory Little went to Stanford?
I think that's where he went, isn't it? I could be wrong.
No, because I think he started at Ole Miss. I guess he transferred.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I could be wrong on that. I'm not too. I know he got hurt or something like that. I don't know.
Listen,
doesn't
I'm
matter. I did a
ready to
little
go.
reason. Yeah, go for it.
My pick is in.
I know where you're going.
What? Listen, this was
me too, because
my.
you told me.
No. This was my plan going into tonight was to take an offensive lineman mid-round. So I'm going Jalen Mayfield. It's a match made in heaven. It's going to sound stupid because I'm a Michigan man. I'm going to pick Jalen Mayfield
there's
because
nothing wrong with that.
I think
he's a dynamite option.
It's great value
in round 3, and that's where I think you build a team or help build a team is these mid-round picks for your offensive line. Honestly, that's where I'm going.
Ryan, do you know who you're going with yet?
I just want to say, Micah, that's a really good pick. If you
I
get
agree completely.
Jalen Mayfield in the 3rd round, he's flexible, right side, left side. He's a big body. He's got stuff to work on, obviously, and he gets beat.
But he's going to have that time. He's going to go to the right side.
Yeah.
And be a really good right tackle.
And
for,
even
for
if
the
he
Lions.
learns for a year, I mean, so be it. That's a pretty good talent for a 3rd round pick. I do know who I'm going to go with. My pick is in. Now, I'm struggling a little bit because I think Rashad Weaver, edge out of Pittsburgh, is still available right here, and I think he's very, very underrated in this draft. I think he could be a first-round talent. However, I'm not going with him. I'm blanking on the guy that I was going to go with, though. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. I am going to go with safety out of Syracuse, Andre Sisco. Have you watched tape on this guy?
Oh, yeah. That's exactly who I had circled, and that is exactly who I was going to take my picks in as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
is he on the board here?
So, yeah, he is. He's got to be.
Yeah, he's on the board.
He's got to be.
All right. What I like about this guy is, correct me if I'm wrong. I've done a lot of, I've tried to do a little bit of
Sounds like you guys
I'm
both
proud of you.
watched.
I'm proud of you.
He
dove in.
looks amazing.
Yeah.
On tape. But did he get injured or did he opt out?
Of the 2020?
I feel like
he opted out as far as my knowledge, at least. That's what maybe an assumption.
Sorry, nope, he did play. He has stats in 2020. He got hurt. So I think he tore his ACL, actually, if I remember correctly from what I was reading.
Okay,
and again, I've read a lot. But that's the reason why he's dropping. He was unbelievable. His stats are there. His body's there. He's the perfect fit, and you don't need him to come in and play right away. You have good safeties. He's going to come in, heal up, and learn. Decent safeties, I should say. Not deep, but you're there. And you got to address the secondary. So that's what I'm going with.
I think the drop-off after Cisco in this draft for safeties is big.
Yeah.
So there's only a few that are worth taking in the first couple rounds, and really none in the first round. I think they're all basically in the 2nd round, 3rd round. But Cisco is probably the most talented and at the highest upside out of all of them. So if you can get a guy like that who would be great in this defense as a playmaker, he's a ball hawk, and he's big enough to tackle, and he's fast.
That's what you want.
And he can guard. Yeah, he's a one-on-one type of guy who can also cover deep and help in the run game. I just think he's too well-rounded to pass up in the 3rd round.
That's a great value there.
For sure.
Value.
All right, let's get down to the 2nd, 3rd round pick for the Lions. So you kind of have 2 picks here. You got the late 3rd. I think it's the comp pick that we got. It's the Rams comp pick that they traded to us with the Stafford deal, and then we jump over pretty quick to our 4th round pick. So maybe let's start with that 2nd, 3rd round pick, Kyle.
You want to pick 101?
I'm not sure what number it is.
Oh.
It should be at the bottom of that page there.
Usually you know all that stuff. I'm just saying.
I'm not good at that.
No?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Okay. We have Milton. It keeps hitting right on that time, doesn't it? Milton Williams, DL. Is that not working?
I've touched it 42 times.
There we go.
James Hudson, OT from Cincinnati. Derek Barnes, Purdue. Hunter Long, a tight end from Boston College. Robert Rochelle, a fun name to say, cornerback from Arkansas State. Dwayne Eskridge. Is that right? Yeah, from
He's still
Western.
available?
He's on there still, yeah.
All right.
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver out of Western Michigan. The dude. So, all right. The way I look at this pick is we've addressed in my mind. We got Penei Sewell, Baron Browning, and then who was my third pick? I don't even remember.
Cisco.
Oh, Andre Cisco.
Cisco.
So you're kind of working on the defense here, and you got the offensive line. I like where we're going. I like the way it's being built. You can't have a full draft without wide receivers. This is the perfect time to strike and hopefully strike gold. So my brain is this third round pick and fourth round pick could both be wide receivers if the right guys are there. I love Dwayne Eskridge. The way I look at it, my pick's in.
I got distracted.
You go speed guy or you go big guy, basically here. I'm going with the speed guy first. I think he is more intriguing to other teams, and I think that's the type of guy you want. I feel like he's perfect for what the Lions are trying to do. He won't get pushed into it right away. He'll be able to learn. So Dwayne Eskridge, wide receiver out of Western Michigan. Speed. Speed
and space.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Works good.
All right, my pick is in. I'm going to go with the corner out of Arkansas. What's his name?
State. Robert Rochelle.
Yes.
Robert Rochelle.
Yep.
Any reason?
Nope.
Can we expand?
It's
Oh, okay.
just it's addressing that need.
Just want a corner.
Couldn't tell you anything about Robert.
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 Robert. Don't worry about that.
me and Ryan just shared a moment over
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Not personal. Don't ask any questions.
Sam, can you be in the moment and off your phone, please?
I'm looking up players,
You got
man.
called out.
Listen,
called out.
I don't have a list to go off of. I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah.
No idea.
That's it. Yeah. Every time you guys talk about football, it's funny.
All right, my pick is in. I think this is where this guy belongs, and he's still available, and he might be still available later on. But Dylan Moses, linebacker out of Alabama.
Nice.
That's a good.
I think he has way too much upside to pass on, and I have not addressed in this mock draft. I've not addressed linebacker, and it's one of the areas of weakness for this Lions team.
Yep.
And I've kind of gotten away from the defense a little bit in the first couple rounds. So going safety linebacker combo in the third round, I just feel really good about that.
No, that's not bad at all.
I like it.
All right, so we got a fourth round pick.
Fourth round, 112. That would be.
Okay.
And actually, according to this mock draft, Dylan Moses is still on the board here.
Okay.
Oh, he is.
So yes. So that's linebacker Alabama. Michigan boy Cameron McGrone.
Ooh.
Another linebacker still on the board.
He's an interesting one.
Yeah, he is interesting.
Marco Wilson, cornerback out of Florida. There's another Michigan guy here, Nico Collins, wide receiver. Running back Trey Sermon from Ohio State. Cornell Powell,
300 guy.
wide receiver from Clemson.
Okay.
You got some good guys there, right?
Yeah. All right. So I don't want to address running back. As enticing as he is, I don't want him. I don't want to take a running back when you have so many other needs, especially on the offense side of the ball. Like I said earlier, if you have the wide receiver there worth taking, you take him. I took a speed guy here late in the third. I feel like go with the more prototypical, bigger
lanky
guy, the guy that's built for the NFL.
Yep.
And could be not a Kenny Galladay, but I mean, having a guy like true NFL players throwing him the football and a true offense built around him. My pick's in. And I'm a slappy here. Nico. I'm taking Nico Collins in that way.
I mean, I think we all saw that coming.
Yeah,
There's
that's
nothing
fine.
wrong with that. Get a hometown
So I went
boy.
back-to-back wide receivers.
I thought you'd go Dylan Moses, honestly.
Did you?
Yeah.
I really
would.
like. I mean, I also got a linebacker.
He's still there?
I got the linebacker in the second round, so that's why I didn't really want to do that. But wouldn't have been a bad way to go. Anybody?
Who'd you get in the second round?
I got Baron.
Oh, yeah. Browning.
Yeah, Baron Browning.
All right, my pick is in. I'm struggling with this one. I think there's probably a better pick, but in the middle of this draft, loading up on a position of need is kind of key, and I am going to double up on linebacker here. I'm going Pete Werner out of Ohio State.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting.
So I have Browning. You have, what was his name? Sorry.
Werner. Pete Werner.
And there's another one. Justin Hilliard is another big linebacker coming out of Ohio State. I mean, are they really just that deep in that position?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They are.
That's why Michigan can't beat them.
I think Werner probably fits.
It's not just that.
I think Werner probably fits a little better than Moses in a 4-3 defense too. I think that's where the Lions are going with this whole thing. So he's going to be flexible enough to play in multiple positions, and that's why I like him. It's more of a fit thing with the Lions defense where they're going to be going. I think Dylan Moses is more of the higher upside. If he's got the physicality that you'd want at the linebacker position, but he might not fill the need of the team. So I don't know. It's like between the two of them, one of them's going to stick. And in middle of the mid rounds at this point with a position of need, I don't know. I think it's worth it.
That's what a lot of people got to remember when you're in a draft and you've got serious needs. There is nothing wrong with picking multiple from the same group. Not at all. Back to back, whether it's split, top half, bottom half of the draft, you got to do it.
Well, I feel like linebacker is that position that's so much about reading defenses, learning as you go. So just because you don't work out as a rookie doesn't mean you're not going to work out later on.
Linebacker, corner, and wide receiver.
And
you
so
can draft multiples.
Yeah, so I feel like if you get a couple, we've got a few linebackers on a 1-year deal right now. If they can learn something from those pros that know what they're doing,
right,
that the coaching staff brought in on purpose,
right,
then going forward on a rookie contract, you might get something out of them in year 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Perfect. My pick is in. This one to me is easy. I want to give Jared Goff another weapon. I'm going Nico Collins again. He's a big body. He's got good hands, yards after catch.
I'm wondering if he goes earlier than what people are saying, like projected, because he's opted out. It sounds like people are kind of holding that against some of the mid players. He's got the NFL body, right? The dude, and he's proven to be a pretty good wide receiver when he had a decent quarterback throwing the ball. Bad quarterback throwing the ball, like nowhere near Jared Goff, unbelievably. But
he's got some production, to back him up, but he doesn't have elite traits.
Okay.
And that's what's missing. I think a lot of these sleeper guys in the second or third round, you're going to find have one elite trait, and that's something Collins lacks.
Collins got physicality.
He
and
does.
he's an
and
athlete.
Good hands.
Like, I think he's a rich man's Quintez Cephas, because Quintez Cephas looks so unathletic on the football field sometimes, but then also he makes some stinking catch. And I feel like Nico Collins is head and shoulders above a Quintez Cephas.
I want you to watch some of his tape of Nico Collins. He's a little sloppy. He relies on his athleticism and just going up and getting the ball. He's not a solid route runner.
Okay.
He doesn't create separation with his route running. He was the safety net where they'd throw it up to him and he'd make a good play.
Yeah, and you can't. I mean, you can teach that type of thing. Is the way I look at it. And you get a coach like kneecap biter, he's gonna learn that.
Chomp.
So like that's where like I feel like that's something that can be taught. Catching the ball is more something that can't be taught, and it's just natural ability. His athleticism's there, his size is there. If he's not a good route runner,
I don't think it's a bad, especially fourth round. We're talking about.
Exactly.
I think what you guys are saying makes complete sense.
All right, so let's move down to the last pick for the Lions here in the 5th round.
5th round, pick 153. You could go wide receiver again in Cade Johnson, South Dakota State. Tay Gowan, a cornerback from UCF. Is this Chuba Howard?
Chuba Hubbard.
Sorry, Hubbard. Yeah.
Chuba.
Running
available.
back.
Still there. A lot of injury stuff.
Sean Wade, quarterback safety, Ohio State. Adrian Ely. Who else is here? Justin Hillard. They're from Ohio State. Janarius Robinson from Florida State. You have this weird note down here, Sam, from Tariq Black.
Tariq Black.
Tariq Black. Why is he down here?
Because he wasn't on the draft mock draft at all.
Jeez.
But I thought he's just
How
a
about
funny
this? 4-time winner of a shattered ankle award.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Is that what he? Oh, he's not.
Yeah, I mean, I just
Ryan
I
just
thought
gave
it
him a
was
hard
worth-
pass
worth-
on that one.
he was definitely worth bringing up.
So you just
did you say-
manually added him?
Did you say was Kerry Vincent available?
We talking about like a freshman year.
So I want to
Tariq
go corners. I want to go corner. That's my thought based on the way my draft's laying out.
No, he is not. He is off at pick 151.
But you said Tay Gowan and Keith Taylor are available?
I said take going. What was the other name you said?
Keith Taylor? I guess it doesn't matter because
He is there, yes.
Shaun Wade is the interesting one.
So I'm going my pick's in. I'm going to go cornerback Tay Gowan out of UCF Knights. So he did not play in 2020, and it might have been to injury, it might have been opt-out. I don't know. I get all of these guys confused. But what I liked about this guy is he put up some really good numbers when they were a good football team. And the only thing you don't know about this guy is the lack. Like, he doesn't have any experience. He played in one year total, so it's kind of a flyer. But I like what I saw with the highlights, and I think he could be a really good fit and kind of learn and just be that extra guy. Like, he's not going to be a starter, but I don't think you need a starter when you have a Warrior and a Kuda developing. I think he's just a good complement guy that can play in this league. So that's where I'm going.
Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, my pick is in.
That's what she said.
I wish I had my comment on Mike.
Darn. I'm going to go with Shaun Wade out of Ohio State. Another Ohio State guy. He's 1 year removed from being a first, second round pick.
Yeah.
And I know he got torched. He really did. He got torched in some big games against some really good competition. But, I don't know. You're talking about college athletes that are allowed to make mistakes every once in a while. And I think a lot of his was just being overly aggressive, and then getting beat on it. So when you're overly aggressive and a quarterback misses the guy, that doesn't count against you. But he was getting beat against Clemson. He was getting beat against Alabama. He was getting torched against some really good competition where they're going to make you pay for every single mistake that you have.
Yeah.
Which, again, will happen in the NFL. But I think there's more for him to learn, and there's more upside than you would find in a standard fifth-round pick.
All right. Micah.
Pick is in. I'm going to second Ryan on that one. I want another corner, late round corner. He does have talent. He's gonna be a little bit of work, but he's got good upside. So that's what I need in my draft.
Nice.
I will say, fifth-round pick I could have gone with, like a runner-up, is Rhodarius Williams, cornerback out of Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Rhodarius Williams. Seriously, look up his name. He shadows wide receivers. He's one of the best cover guys in this draft. And I'm not saying that lightly. I've looked at cornerbacks because I feel like that is a position of need to make the depth, because
You definitely need
guys
depth.
will get injured.
Depth
Yeah.
is so important.
So
at that
Rhodarius
position.
Williams, he is elite. He has an elite trait of sticking with wide receivers and knowing what they're going to do before they do.
All right. So real quick, I wanted to. You can just cut. Don't worry about resetting the music here. Like let's go through our draft here. So I'm gonna tell you guys mine, and then you guys can share yours as well. And if people came up with their own doing this at home, please jump on our live stream video and just make sure that you share who you took with those same picks. Who you
Picked and took at the same
and
time. Yay. Good,
All right.
good word, Sam.
So my draft was first
Never
round
would've done that.
offensive tackle Penei Sewell. Second round was Baron Browning, linebacker out of Ohio State. Third round was Andre Sisco, who is the safety out of
Syracuse.
Syracuse, thank you. My third round pick was Dwayne Eskridge, wide receiver out of Western Michigan. My fourth round pick, Nico Collins, wide receiver out of Michigan. And then Tay Gowan, who is a corner out of UCF.
Nice.
Question: do you feel good about your wide receiver group there? I mean, getting Nico Collins and Eskridge.
Not really, no. I mean, I
So is that looking back in the draft now? Do you wish you would have invested earlier in wide receiver? Because everybody knows that's what the Lions need. It's a position of need.
So basically, I don't think you take wide receiver in the top 10. That scares the crap out of me. And maybe I'm just a jaded Lions fan because you've failed on 6 of them and you hit on one.
Mike Williams, Roy Williams.
Yeah, exactly.
Charles Rogers.
Like it just
Which guy shot himself?
That was
Charles Rogers.
Charles Rogers.
Yeah.
Did he? That was Plaxico Burress, I
That's
think.
Plaxico,
That was
yeah.
a Sparty.
Michigan State guy.
That's who I'm thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a thing.
Both-
There was
both
a gun
Michigan
thing
State
with,
guys.
with
Yeah.
one
I think
of those
you're right.
guys.
Yeah, I think you're.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't hate
We see
my
a
Dwayne
common
Eskridge.
denominator.
I don't hate my Nico Collins and Dwayne Eskridge combination, but I know it's not high end.
Yeah, there's
I get that.
Yeah, there's not
But I
enough
also-
elite. Yeah,
But I also don't think we need
Talent.
it. The way you're building in the trenches with Penny Sewell, the offensive line is set like that. I feel like we have our running backs that can run the ball behind that offensive line. And then these wide receivers, they're a dime a dozen. Maybe one of these guys become a good NFL player. That's kind of
the
my
running
goal.
back? You said it's covered?
Swift.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
It is
He's
covered
good.
in my opinion.
Very, very
and,
good.
And we
They
got,
depth.
We'll
big
see.
time.
who do we
Yeah.
get from Green Bay?
They got Jamal
yeah.
Williams.
Jamal Williams as well.
Yeah,
So
pumped about that.
I'm not a big fan. All right, so basically to kind of lay out, we'll talk a little bit about mine here. With Jalen Mayfield available at, was it that 3rd round? That might be a better way to go. So because the offensive line is actually pretty solid, you don't need the top guy, but I also love like Penei Sewell as a prospect. From everything I read, the dude is amazing.
He's so athletic.
And he's massive. He's a perfect fit. He's a future all pro left tackle or tackle in general. Jalen Mayfield, you don't know. He's very good, and I think he's proven that. But is he elite in this league? That's the question mark. If you can get an elite offensive line and you have this thing built, you don't have to worry about it for the next 2 years in the draft. Period. End of story.
Yeah,
that's
can
where
be.
that's where I would be like, I would lean towards Penei Sewell. I'm happy with that pick, and getting flyers on wide receivers because you can fill wide receivers
So
pretty
quick,
easily.
think of the big dude on the right side of our offensive line. Vaitai. Okay, so Vaitai was bad as a right guard last year. He was actually
He was also
decent
fighting
as a
injury
right
a lot.
tackle. He was decent as a right tackle.
Okay.
He was dominant in the run game. He was dominant. He was one of the best offensive linemen last year. Pro Football Focus rated him. If you watch his tape, he puts guys on. He pancakes them.
Yeah.
He puts them on their back. But in pass coverage, he gets confused. So the only thing I'm going to say about the 3rd round
Jalen Mayfield.
Jalen Mayfield is that his dominant trait is also the run game. And pass protection, he can get beat. He gets confused. He does. He misses assignments here and there. And I think that is what Penei Sewell would bring to the table as a first round pick is he's strong across the board. He's a good run defender, but he's a great pass protector.
He is going to make that right side of the line 10 times better.
And I just think if you're going to bring in a new quarterback with a new system, that's the kind of talent that you would be
Kyle,
a great base.
Yes.
Can you look real quick while we're talking? Was Gregory Little available in the 3rd round? Because I really like him too. I think he would be pretty high end pick if he stayed healthy.
The first pick or the second?
No, I
pick
think
in
it would be
3rd round?
I think it would have been early in the early in the 3rd round. He might.
What's the guy's name?
Gregory Little. Greg Little.
I don't have my glasses on.
Ryan, can you find? I guess it doesn't matter, but I feel like I would even almost take him over Jalen Mayfield.
You're talking about Walker Little.
Sorry, Walker
Oh,
Little.
give me the right
Yeah,
name.
Sorry,
Stanford.
My
Sorry.
bad. My bad.
If I could interject real quick, I was just reading about Charles Rogers. That's a tragic story of terrible thing.
He
And-
actually did shoot himself, didn't he?
No, but it's
What?
No, Plaxico Burress did.
No, but
Yeah.
didn't he?
Nightclub.
Didn't he?
I think
commit
there was
suicide,
maybe
or did he die?
That's what I was thinking of.
Charles
that he-
Rogers died, right?
He's dead, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like
It wasn't a gunshot wound.
no,
Oh,
it
it
was
was
like opioid
overdose.
addiction.
Oh, was
and,
it? Okay.
Dose.
Overdoy.
Doise.
That was a Sam slip right there.
I thought he nailed it.
I thought he nailed it.
I heard it.
A very tragic
I'm
story.
telling you, he did not nail it. He just died of overdose.
It was an overdoy.
Yeah. So all in all, I really like my draft. I feel like offensive line is great, and I mean Baron Browning could be a really good piece. I feel like he's a Jamie Collins in the making type player. Could be completely wrong on that, but
Could be. Probably.
all right, Ryan or Micah, you guys can go over.
I
yours
do
quick
like
now.
your Browning pick. I think it's a decent 2nd round pick.
Go for it, Ryan.
I'll go. My first overall pick or first round pick was Penei Sewell. Again, I just think you're sending a message to your team if you're going to invest in your offensive line with the 1st round, and it's something that would back up what you kind of talked about in your press conference. 2nd round pick, wide receiver out of LSU, Terrence Marshall. I think it gives you more of an elite trait out of your wide receiver group and a go-to guy that can play in the slot or on the outside. Third round, safety out of Syracuse, Andre Sisco. Again, I think he's one of the best at his position, which is key. I always think about positional need because even if a guy is dropping, like this is a bad class for safeties, doesn't mean that they're bad players. It means that they're maybe being undervalued compared to other positional groups. So Andre Sisco, safety. The second third-round pick, Dylan Moses, linebacker out of Alabama. Again, I think it's more of he's physical. He could fill a need right away. He could stick around for a few years and just see if it works. He could become dominant. He could become a bust. I don't know, but it's worth a third-round pick in my opinion. You have two of them. And with the fourth-round pick, I have Pete Werner, linebacker out of Ohio State. Again, he's more of a speed guy. I think he can hold up size-wise. But he's a fast linebacker that can make plays, and he's just reliable. He's probably the most reliable linebacker out of Ohio State last year and over the last couple of years. And maybe not as much upside as like a Browning, but you don't always need upside with that positional group. You do need somebody that is reliable and will prevent big plays from happening. And then fifth-round pick, Sean Wade, which I'm already regretting. I wish I would have taken Rhodarius Williams, cornerback, because I didn't actually remember his name at the time. But
Sorry, who was it?
I took Sean Wade, fifth-round pick, cornerback out of Ohio State again. I wish I would have taken Rhodarius Williams, cornerback out of, I think, Florida State, right?
Do you think the actual GMs get that?
Travis.
Where they
Yeah.
Where like they're like,
no.
Like 15 minutes later they're like, should have got that guy.
I think they're probably torn. They probably get there because they're torn between players, and maybe they feel like they made the wrong pick.
Yeah.
But we were working out of either top of mind or something that you read recently, so it was tough to go down and maybe miss a guy that you had circled. I really do have Rhodarius Williams circled. I think a late-round cornerback, I think he's going to be a steal. He's got a talent to stick with wide receivers that's very rare.
Where is he out of?
I believe it's Florida State. Let me look it up.
Yeah, look that up while Micah gives us his.
First round, I went with Devontae Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama. Second round, I echoed Sam with the Baron Browning, linebacker out of Ohio State. I think a linebacker is a glaring need for Detroit. But third round, the first pick, I went with Jalen Mayfield, offensive lineman out of Michigan.
Again, really great pick.
The cornerback from Arkansas, I just don't know his name. Robert
Robe or something like that.
Roche. I don't know.
No, Roche is the edge out of Miami.
You are.
Yep. Okay.
Russo, you mean?
Yep. Okay. Russo.
No, there's a Roche too.
Yeah,
There's
Roche.
another. There's a Roche.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert Rochelle,
Rochelle.
cornerback out of Arkansas State.
That's who I'm going with. The
guy.
cornerback.
He's actually, he's pretty good.
That's the guy.
Fourth round, went with Nico Collins to kind of bolster that wide receiving corps out of University of Michigan. And fifth round, I went with Sean Wade, cornerback out of OSU, and I do not regret that pick.
Nice.
Yeah, again, Sean Wade, fifth round is kind of a no-brainer. I think that's too far to fall. I get falling, but he's got too much upside to fall that far. Quick update, Rhodarius Williams, cornerback out of Oklahoma State, not Florida State.
Okay. Good to know.
One of those state teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was a really fun way to kind of build it because you don't know who's going to be available. Like I said, I mean, if I knew Jalen Mayfield was available or Walker Little in the third round, I might not have taken Penei Sewell and go with the wide receiver. And it just changes the whole landscape of the draft. It's crazy how
it sure does.
One pick, really the first round pick, changes your mindset moving forward. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts of who had the best one? John, I don't know if you have any thoughts. I mean, you're kind of a quarterback. You're a Justin Fields guy, so you're probably just going to say all of you failed.
I didn't hear Justin Fields' name mentioned today.
A lot of Ohio State guys who know Justin Fields.
Everybody.
What about Jamar Chase? I know he went earlier than the seventh.
I think he went before
in this draft.
Yeah. Whose draft was this? Do you have that on the sheet? I think it was.
Oh, you specifically said.
I think it was on the last sheet. I put it at the very
Ryan
bottom.
Wilson from
Ryan
CBS.
Wilson out of CBS. Yeah.
I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
to myself, what school is that?
Mel
Like,
Kiper.
what? I was like, what?
CBS. You didn't read it.
What school
Did
is
you
that?
read
I
it?
don't know that
Did
one.
you read it as like an option?
No, I didn't
Oh
know.
man, that would have been
It's
awesome.
like an FBS.
That would have been
school.
really
Yeah,
good.
right?
CBS.
I think it'd be interesting to find
Connecticut Battle State.
other mock drafts that have Penei Sewell falling that far too, because I feel like a lot of drafts have him going before.
A lot of
7
them
and
do
3.
for sure, but I mean, you're seeing it more and more lately too because
If-
a lot of
If he does,
quarterbacks.
if he does fall to 7, I mean, I don't hate that pick, but Jamar Chase or Justin Fields, I'm
Yeah,
cool with.
I think ideally the Lions, you'd like Penei Sewell to be gone, and you'd like to have, let's say, 4 of the wide receiver options, and you can trade down. And if someone wants to come up, like I feel like Mel and Kuiper kind of did a dual one today, and
Mel
it had
and Kuiper?
yeah, they like so every other
It's the
pick.
same
They
guy.
do every or
Even
sorry,
even I know that.
sorry, no, what's the other guy's name?
Todd McShay.
Todd,
Todd.
Todd.
McShay. So it's like they did like every other pick. So then it kind of lays out. But I
haven't
feel
looked
like
at that one.
I feel like
fun.
Mel had
hate
the
supporting
Patriots
ESPN.
trading up from the line to the Lions pick. So the Lions would go down to 15. I think they had Micah Parsons still available at 15 too.
And
Wow.
honestly, Parsons at 15 with a trade down.
Steal.
I would take
yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
I
gosh,
think
yeah.
what the return was obviously you get the first round, you get a second round, and then a first round next year, and I'm like,
That's
Holy
incredible.
cow.
see
value.
ya. Like I would totally do
That's
that.
way too much. Nobody
Yeah.
would give that up.
Because
No.
well, I mean, just think if the Patriots moved up and got, let's say, Mac Jones, if that's who they
Matt
traded up,
Jones won't be there.
if that's who they traded up to
won't.
get,
He's elite, guys.
or Trey Lance,
He's a
like I
legend.
don't think they're coming in and winning. I
Team
feel like
Ryan.
that could be a really good first round pick next year if the Patriots do it, because I don't see the Patriots flipping a page and all of a sudden being really good, and especially in that division.
Guys, if I listed my top quarterbacks, like player rankings, you guys would probably hate me. But I'm going to be right in the end.
John, if someone was holding a gun to your head, whose draft would you pick? Because you didn't answer the question. You just went with Justin Fields and Jamar
He knows.
Chase.
He knows he would pick.
I have to go with Sam.
Yes, let's go. Give him a little
What
hand.
the heck?
Yeah,
But
give him a little round of
terrible.
applause or something.
That's not how it
No,
works.
come on.
That's not how any
You don't control the board, I do.
I shouldn't even ask for a round of applause.
Well
that,
done.
That wide receiver out of Western, though, he plays punt return, kick return too. I mean, he could be a dual threat kind of option for Detroit, and so I don't hate that pick either, but it's not the ideal wide receiver situation.
Yeah. I don't know. I like where my draft's at as well. I like all your guys' drafts. I think everybody did a good job. Let's give everybody a round of applause.
Alrighty.
But we got.
Find it real
What,
quick.
Thanks.
I don't know. We're kind of moving right along. I don't know where we're sitting with time, but I mean, we promised King Kyle's couple questions last.